We are live, so welcome to the weekly Guitar Collection live stream here. Guess what? We started right on time today. So it is a nice morning over here having a cup of coffee here in Austin, Texas, where it's still 11 a.m. Things have not gotten super hot yet, but they are bound to at any moment. So those of you that are tuning in, please let me know that you're here. Say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if you've got a cup of coffee in hand. And we'll get started shortly with some amazing guitars today. 3 of them being from 2025 and 1 of them being from 2021. But it is none other than a Hauser guitar by the great Kathrin Hauser, the newest generation of Hausers. So, wow, it's going to be a fun time. Hello, Dunn from LA. Good to see you. You know what? Today there are birds chirping outside and no construction. So this might be a nice positive for our little live stream / podcast. And I also want to mention that if you are watching this after the fact, you're only a minute into the video, please know that there are timestamps after the fact. I always add them to when I present each guitar. So if you're not interested in watching this full thing and hear me blabber on, you can go right to the spot where I start presenting the guitars. I am soon to be heading on a trip. So today is a very busy day for me. I'm mailing out guitars. I'm doing this. I'm doing some recordings. And it's going to be a fantastic time. But it's going to be a long day. Vincenzo from Italy, good to see you. All right. Eric, hello. You've been in this very room. Welcome. Good to see you here. I imagine you are back home now. Yeah, so I'm just filing up my nails here. Actually, they're getting quite long, including my thumbnail. And I play a concert in about 5 days. And 2 of those days are going to be travel days, so it's going to be a lot of time in between. However, I feel nice and ready. I've played a concert recently and I've got some repertoire under my fingers. But, you know, for those of you that don't know, here's a little chatting subject for us here while we wait for some others to join, is that in these guitar reviews that I do, one thing that's a little bit unfortunate is that I can't play many pieces that are not in the public domain, meaning that, well, in the States at least, that it's not been published for less than 100 years. And the reason why I choose not to do that, now I could just play anything, but there's no future of ad revenue for those videos if I play a piece that, even just like a 15-second clip of a piece, like let's just say, I don't know, any of the living composers that you might imagine, maybe Brouwer or Sergio Sod, these will be claimed, they'll be copyright striked, and then the whole ad revenue for the video will be lost. Which isn't much, to be fair, but it does make you think about what to play. In fact, most of my videos, even when I play Capriccio Arabe or Spanish Romance or something that's clearly public domain for hundreds of years now, it'll match it to a recording of someone else's. It'll say, oh, this is this famous artist who signed to Sony. So I have to go dispute it and say, this is my own performance. And then sometimes that gets denied. They'll say, no, that's not your own performance. So it's just a funny little game that you have to play. But you know what? I'm here for it. And that's why you hear a lot of taraga. You hear a lot of noodling, because you can't claim my noodling. No one wants to, all right? Oh my gosh, what's up, Thanasis? I wonder what this little crown means. I just had to click on it. Oh, wow. Okay, it's a top fan crown. It's number 1. I guess it means you spent the most time here. And then it's Vincenzo, then Javier. Wow. Cool. That's a new thing that YouTube's doing. Or maybe it's like in this current stream, because all of you guys have commented in this stream. So I'm not sure what that is. But okay, well, I got to just give you a quick preview before I go playing each of these guitars and doing a formal presentation. Oh, actually, let me adjust this camera. I see you get a little bit of my desk here. I've got my camera on this mount that over time, it honestly just dips. But it takes a long time. The camera just dips down. And sometimes I'm suspicious that it's my cat. Sometime coming in here and knocking the camera sideways. So, you know, you never know what cats do in the night. Should leave it streaming. Amazing guitars today, and so many of them are these are all recent arrivals, but so many of them are recently made within like two of these guitars were like finished within the past couple of weeks. Okay, so you guys are getting the real first sounds of the latest and greatest by these very famous luthiers. The first one I'm going to show you today is a super exciting one. Maybe I should have saved this for last, but no, there's the last guitar is great too, also made in 2025. This is made by the Canadian luthier Douglas Scott, and Douglas Scott has been making some of the most powerful, completely traditional braced guitars. So the soundboard, well, no, I shouldn't say completely. He has his own innovations, of course, but there's no double top, no lattice brace, and these guitars are so powerful. There's a lot of little elements to this guitar, though. There's a raised fingerboard. There's this ebony miniature Tornavos that's right inside the sound hole that would be very difficult to see in the video, but I do have photographs of this guitar. You have a raised fingerboard. You have Ruck-style sound ports, Wingay back and sides. I mean, this guitar is amazing. And this one's 650 scale. The last one I had was 640 scale. And Doug was telling me how this one he thinks is a little bit more powerful. He made some changes to the braces, and I definitely feel that way. This thing, especially after playing it next to a lattice brace guitar here by Giussani, and then this double top by John Dick, this thing really keeps up. I mean, it's got, man, a lot of power and also brightness. It's really fantastic. So I'm going to set this guitar down and just tell you about a couple of other instruments, or the other 3 instruments I'm going to be sharing with you today. Good morning, DSW. Good to see you here. The next guitar is going to be by a legendary maker, Kathrin Hauser. Now, Kathrin is the next in the generation of Hausers. She's now like, I guess, like what you would say Hauser 4, because she's the daughter of Hauser 3. And she is building fantastic instruments. And I have been hearing from friends of mine, this is actually the first one I've played of hers, but I've been hearing from friends of mine that have been saying, oh, they're really great. You got to check them out. I'm on her wait list. She has a sizable wait list, of course. And I hadn't played one, so I was just taking their word for it. And then finally I've played one. I see why there's a lot of hype behind her instruments, because the craftsmanship is all there. It's beautifully crafted. The wood selection, many people tell you the woods that the Hausers have is like beyond what anyone can reach, because they have so many generations of this old wood. And you know what? You could tell the piece of spruce is beautiful here, but the star of the show is this Brazilian rosewood, right? We don't have filters on. We don't have a close-up photo for you here, but just look at that. Isn't that insane? So we'll get to everything about this guitar soon, but it's all class. So colorful, and what I really like about her instruments, or this instrument of hers, I can't speak with authority about all of her instruments, as this is the first one that I've played, but what really sticks out to me is that it's got a lot of, it's got the clarity that Hausers are known for, but it's got this depth and darkness to it where it can be very sensitive very easily. Sometimes Hauser guitars can be fairly unforgiving and feel just very touchy and sensitive and bright. And this guitar, while you can get that touchy side to it, is very clear. You can tell. It has this sensitive side where if I play something like... You see what I mean? It's got this really rich depth to it. And And this is also 6/46 scale, which is a very typical scale length for Hauser guitars. 4 millimeters shorter than the typical. I'm going to set this one down and show you what the next guitar will be. The next guitar is made by the American luthier based in Iowa, John Dick. Now, a lot of the design of his guitars comes from inspiration of Hernandez y Aguado. You can see the headstock has that Hernandez y Aguado look. And also in the rosette, you have these this motif that's in the center. It is typically on the outer rings of an Hernandez y Aguado guitar. And this guitar is brand new as well, from the year 2025. This is a double top model of his, and it's got a French polish top. The back of the neck has this satin finish, which is just so nice and smooth. You can actually see it if I lean in the right light. It's not, you can see that it's not super glossy, I suppose. And also it has these ginormous frets, and not to be confused with scale length. The scale length is normal, but the frets are very wide and very tall, and it makes it so easy to play. Most of the time, I am a huge fan of big frets, including this situation. And the sustain on this guitar is just so beautiful. And it's a guitar where you get no harsh sounds. And it covers nail noise very, very well. In some ways, it reminds me of my Blackwell guitar, oops, over there, in that it has this rounding effect. Everything is very round. And it does not sound like a double top guitar in the nasality or something. You'll guess that it's a double top by the volume. This thing is powerful. But you may not guess from the sound. Anyways, I'll get too deep into this, but yes, this is a brand new double top built by John Dick from the year 2025. I meant to turn my brightness down, by the way, because you get all these reflections. You notice this if I go like this, you can see the screen. And then if I do this, then you don't. And I can still see your comments. Just barely, I have to squint. Okay. And then did I get through everything? Yes, the very last guitar. This one's very exciting. And admittedly, I just tuned this guitar up for the first time about 10 minutes before the stream, so it's out of tune. But let me tell you a little bit about this guitar, which really impressed me. This is a guitar by, well, let's say it's Giussani Guitars, because I believe it's Giacomo and his son, Jacopo, that are building these now. And they are Italian luthiers. And this guitar is really a work of art. I mean, the rosette here, maybe it's going to be harder to see on this stream, but the tiling in this rosette has such a cool golden look to it, while the finish on the top is this satin finish. And then you look at the bridge, and it has this, the carving of the bridge is very different too. You see these like flared, almost like they're flared lugs on a watch, the way they flare outwards there. And there's all sorts of interesting design elements on this guitar. You've got a raised fingerboard. Then you've got a sound port here. And this sound port has a little mini tornavals in it. And it's not so mini, actually. It's like, it goes this deep into the guitar. And I imagine that helps the guitar be balanced out the main air resonance. So when you cut a hole like this in a guitar and you don't have something inside, like a little cylinder, it's going to higher the main air resonance of the guitar. So it'll make it, maybe it'll go from like a G to a G sharp or something. But when you put this inside of it, it's certain to lower it back down. And it's pretty cool. You can look inside the guitar from this port. It's got a heavier feel to it. It's a lattice brace guitar. And from what I saw with looking inside with a mirror, it is all wood lattice brace. And then the back and sides is this beautiful cypress. And the back and sides has a polyurethane finish, very thin, like a lot of luthiers are doing today to protect the finish. It's gorgeous. There's lots of little streaks in this. I mean, I love the way sometimes how cedar top, like this guitar is, pairs with the cypress back and sides. And this cedar, since it's not, it doesn't have a glossy polish, it's so nice how it contrasts this glossy, beautiful cypress back and sides. Also, the heel is very carved away here. It's not a big, thick heel. So not only do you have this small heel, but also you have the raised fingerboard to help you get higher on the frets. And look at that, the contrast between this mahogany neck, I believe, and the cypress back and sides is so dramatic. It really looks good, I think. And like I said, it's gonna be out of tune because I tuned it up for the first time. Unfortunately, the A string's a little dead. But I tuned up for the first time right before this stream. And I was quite impressed. I mean, this guitar packs a punch, and I have to say, I did not know what the bracing was inside, or if it was a double top or what have you, until I played it, and I couldn't guess, so I had to look inside. But it is, yes, it is in fact a lattice brace guitar. Hi Sergey, and hi Mark, good to see you. So this guitar is really a work of art. I mean, it's beautiful to look at, it's beautiful to play, the neck is very nicely shaped. So I'll get to a full review of this shortly. If you guys are familiar with a friend of mine, Beatrix Kovacs, hopefully I'm saying her name right, her YouTube channel is really amazing, and she's always playing on a Giussani guitar. So this is the maker that she plays on for the past many years now. So that's a cool little connection that many of you might know. In fact, I think in my analytics on YouTube, it tells me that many of my viewers watch her channel. So pretty cool. Low E is striking to play. Low E is striking. Play again, Evan. You got it. Hold on. Well, this is 6th string. It's tuned to D right now, but listen to that. I love requests like that, by the way. If you guys want to hear something again on another guitar, on this guitar, whatever, let me know. That's actually a great way to sort through some things. You know, if maybe you want to hear something again, or you were maybe considering this guitar and you wanted to listen a little more closely to a certain passage, that's great. Listen to this. Really boom in the bass. You know, playing something like stuck on the same old things. I've thought about that a little bit. I create a little bit of a prison for myself because I play the same pieces. But then when I don't play the same pieces, everyone gets mad because you try to compare guitars and listen to it, side by side. So when I don't play the same pieces, it's a bummer, right? So I've created a jail for myself. Someone's got to free me from this. DSW says, fan of the cypress back and sides. Yes, it's gorgeous on this Giussani guitar. Really big fan of the overall look and sound of this guitar, and the playability is great too. I mean, this was a pleasant surprise, I have to be honest. I've played a couple of these. Wow, where was it though? This is the first one of his guitars I've had in my shop. I never played Beatrix's guitar, but I played a Giussani somewhere. I don't know, it might have been Guitar Salon a long time ago or something. Very very present trebles. So I'm going to tune it up one more time and then set it down because it's going to be 3 guitars away from the first guitar I present today. And it's going to go out of tune again because I just tuned it up for the first time before the stream. So wow, we've got, I would say probably for 20 minutes into the stream, we've got a record number of viewers, 27 people watching right now. So I know you're going to drop like flies when I start the presentation. I'm kidding. But no, very thankful for you all to be here, and I hope you enjoy these. And if there's something that you think I could do better, please let me know. I would love to, do these in a way that's the most useful for you all. This is kind of my hour with you all every week. By the way, next Tuesday, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a stream. It's going to be from my phone or my laptop, if I am. And it might be a tropical background. Let's just say that. You know what? I don't know what strings are on this guitar. I can take guesses. It's a carbon G for sure, and nylon second and first, and it's a D'Addario 6-string, it looks like. So I'm going to guess it's the standard D'Addario pack with the carbon G and then nylon. This sounds like carbon, actually. Nylon first. I'm going to bet it's a nylon first and carbon G and B. So that's my guess. This scale length is 650. Let me double check. And I'm waiting for the moment that I destroy a guitar by accident on live stream. But let's check that scale length. It is 650 exact. Boom. We are on the dot. Okay. Well, let's get started with the first guitar here. Those of you that were early in the stream, you probably even saw me play a couple of notes on this. Douglas Scott guitar. Boom. Okay. This is a Douglas Scott guitar from the year 2025 that he built for the guitar collection. Now, I've had a few of Douglas's instruments recently, and they have been blowing me away. These are traditional guitars with no lattice, no double top, no carbon fiber inside of it, but it's a traditional brass guitar with all sorts of modern features, basically pleasing the modern player, all in the ways of playability and sound and volume, but without sacrificing this beautiful traditional guitar. This beautiful traditional tone that absolute fan brace guitars are capable of getting. Now let's go over the specs just a little bit. This is a cedar top, and of course it has a fan bracing design underneath. You'll right away notice this rosette. With little scorpions on the inside. It's kind of loosely resembles scorpions, to be honest. Then when you look at the inside of the sound hole here, you'll notice this ebony tornavos here. And it's very small. I mean, I would say it's 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit less, maybe a 1/2 inch. It's probably 3/4 of an inch. And it's made of ebony. It's not a piece of plastic. It's ebony built into the guitar here. And what Doug says about this is that he wants it to cancel out the difference in main air resonance that the sound ports create, which, by the way, here we are. We have 2 Ruck style sound ports. That means there's one on each side here, and they're rather small. There's also a raised fingerboard on this guitar, making it very easy to reach the upper frets. And then a very nice integrated armrest here with a glossy, it feels like French polish, finish here, also made of ebony, much like the Tornavos. And you'll also notice this little fret marker, which I really like, that he put here on A, the 17th fret, to make that a little bit easier to find. If you play a piece with harmonics, so nice when you can just look down and find that without a dot on the side, which is a little bit hard to gauge where that's at when you look straight down. Anyways, the neck shape. This is something I've mentioned to Doug Scott over the years, and he has refined this a lot. It is thinner, it is more C-shaped, and it's extremely, extremely easy to play. Very, very low action. except not so low that everything buzzes. The 6th string, I mean, I'm putting some real power into that without a buzz. It really sings. My gosh, it's hot. It sounds very responsive. Let's try some of Indecha by Tarja. Wow. This guitar is so easy to make music on. The sustain is very predictable. There's all sorts of colors to choose from. And, you know, there's always a sound difference between bright ponticello on the guitar and tasto over the fingerboard. But on some guitars, it's just not so pleasant to play and experiment in these areas. And on this guitar, you know, you have things like tones like this that you can get. That one was for you, Mark. And of course I messed it up. So those not in on the joke here, Mark commented here, what are your opinions on the sustain duration, Evan? That thing almost sounds like you can go out for coffee and it'll still be ringing when you come back. Yes, that is the case. This guitar sustains forever. That's better execution. Yeah, the sustain is incredible. F natural, come on, Evan. I'd really like to play a piece I used to play all the time and I haven't lately, but it's Pavana Capriccio by Albanese. Not quite warmed up yet today. You know, this guitar really redefines what you can expect out of a traditional guitar that's not double top or lattice brace. I mean, this thing is very, very, very powerful. And you feel it. Especially that 6 string is like very intoxicating to play. Samuel, I don't know exactly what the strings are on this. He might have told me, I need to look. But it does sound like all carbon to me. I think it must be. And yeah, looks like. That is funny. How would you say looks like? I'm curious what gives it away. I'm thinking that might be all D'Addario carbon also. Let me see. That's definitely carbon. A lot of times all carbon bothers me. I don't like the first string being carbon. Yeah, it's carbon. These are all carbon. But it's, you know what, it's really just for that open E. With carbon strings, it's impossible to get the warm sound that I like with carbon. It's all got this like immediacy to the first harmonic. I think that's what it is that bothers me. But, you know, overall it's a really nice sound. I'll probably end up changing this out for now. Anyways, well, I've spent enough time on this. This is a brand new guitar from the workshop of Douglas Scott from the year 2025. Cedar top, Wingate back and sides, Ruck style sound ports, little miniature ebony tornavos here. Really a spectacular guitar. It's his 151st guitar. So pretty neat. I feel very fortunate to have this one. It is available, so please let me know if you are interested. We are going to move on to another traditional guitar of a totally different style and a totally different continent. Here we are with a beautiful guitar by Kathrin Hauser, a legend in her own right, and also the next generation of Hauser guitars. She is the daughter of Hermann Hauser III, and this is a guitar from 2021 of hers. There was an advertisement about this stream that said 2025. That was incorrect. This is from the year 2021. It's a spruce top, a beautiful Hauser rosette here, as you can see. You see her signature, Kathrin Hauser, but it still bears the same Hermann Hauser Reisbach guitar label. There's a compensated saddle here, and then the star of the show is the back and sides on this guitar. The French polish on this guitar is like a mirror. I mean, well, maybe mirror is not the right word. It just seems like the wood is on top of the polish. It's just so present, and it's not one of these pieces of Brazilian or polish here where you have to lean it in the right light to see how beautiful it is. It's just like it catches you from every angle. It's just stunning. The sides have these beautiful dark strips in them, and there's this reddish tone to the Brazilian rosewood that's really quite attractive. You see more strips here and a nice little light strip here on the sides. Yes, of course, the V-joint head here and Scheller tuners. You'll see nice little accents of green on the purflings of this guitar, and also the same thing going down the center strip of the headstock. But you should hear how this sounds. This guitar, sorry, I'll have to tune. I was gonna say, this guitar is really capable of being sensitive, even though these guitars are known for being so bright and clear. I find this one really has a sensitive side. Let's play a little bit of that in Deja by Targa. It really has a beautiful first string, this guitar. And we'll get there in a second. This guitar has such a beautiful smell to it, too. Yeah, you can achieve so many different volumes with this guitar. I mean, it really enjoys this sensitive touch. But also when you push it, it's something I really notice about this guitar. It's so nice. Wow, a really sensitive guitar by Kathrin Hauser. You know, these are difficult guitars to get. This one is available, and it's not as expensive as you might think, although it is a pricey guitar, of course. And this set of Brazilian rosewood, it's really something. But please let me know if you are interested. It's an incredible guitar that's just waking up because this thing is brand new condition. I mean, I have to see if there's any evidence of play. There's not even one nail mark underneath the strings, and I'm very, very careful about these things. There's no wear to the French polish. Really fantastic. Okay, on to the next guitar here. Next up, actually, maybe I'll grab the guitar and then I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. Next up here is a Doubletop guitar from John Dick, the American luthier from Iowa. Now, John has been building double tops since the late 90s. So he's early on in the double top game, one of the first few people to make one. Of course, Matthias Dahmen being the very first in the late 80s with cedar strips down the center. And then, of course, Gernot Wagner and John Dick was shortly after that. I don't know if he was number 3 or somewhere after, but in the late 90s was still an early time to be making double top guitars. And now we have one here from 2025. Okay, this is a brand new guitar he built for my shop, and the guitar is so elegant. I've played several of these guitars over time, but the ones I played were much older instruments of his, and I was impressed by them, but I had no idea what to expect of his newer guitars. Yeah, so a cedar double top on this one. Lots of design elements inspired by Hernandez y Aguado. For instance, this rosette here with that woven pattern that you'll see on Hernandez y Aguado guitars, which I have one from 1964 right now, by the way. It's a little bit too far away to take out of the case to show you in comparison, and I'll end up banging these around. But you'll also notice that Hernandez y Aguado design element in the head of this guitar. There's no stipling like on Hernandez y Aguado guitars, but that shape is what you would imagine. And then the back and sides are beautiful dark Indian rosewood. Paduk is the wood here that you'll see is this reddish color that's on the heel cap, as well as going down the center strip of the guitar and on the purfling, on the bindings over here. This guitar has very big frets, huge. I mean, I really have been liking these giant frets. I have a Miguel Rodriguez guitar on the wall here that has really giant frets. That was made for Angel Romero. And since then, really, I've been a fan of these train track type of frets. I mean, these are giant, but it's something about it makes your fingers feel a little bit more at ease, I think. But that's not the case on all guitars, but anyhow, I digress. This is a double top by John Dick, and this thing, talk about sustain where you can have a cup of coffee and come back and still ringing. This is like in one of those old racing video games where you can upgrade one of the stats. But like if you upgrade one too much, all of the others go down. So like maybe you boost the acceleration and the top speed just completely drops. Except this one, you put everything into sustain and then everything else is like right at the top level with it. It is something else. There's so many areas where everything is ringing. I mean, it's not just the top voice, although that is just insane for a C. Something like Lock Up the Draw by Barrios is effortless on this guitar. You could pause anywhere. in drop D, you don't find out till that moment in this piece. Really, this is in the very top of guitars for sustain. And not only is it's not just a great sustain, it's also just the way the note blooms. It's natural. You know, sustain is just one fact. It's like, how long does that note, the duration of the note, last? But there's also, how does the attack blend into the sustain? Does the attack go like this and then the sustain drops immediately? Or does the attack go like this and the sustain stays? Or does the attack go like this and then it actually goes up past it? That's hardly ever happens, but this guitar. It is absolutely insane how long that insane sustain. Listen, I mean, it's incredible. You have to play one of these things. It's this guitar is available, by the way. And it looks like Chin Young asked for the Douglas Scott. Sure, I did a whole review of this guitar already, but I'll play a little bit of Lock of the Draw on this so you can hear the comparison. Also incredible sustain, right? How awesome is it to compare these world-class guitars? And yes, both of these guitars really excel in the category of sustain, so it's particularly fun to compare them. But I think all I've talked about on this John Dick Doubletop is the sustain, but everything else is so resonant and powerful, and it's a brand new guitar. Honestly, when I'm playing this, I feel, after 10 minutes of playing this guitar, I feel like it's opened up more, and then it closes up every night. And that's how brand new guitars are, and it's what makes it so exciting, is that it rewards you. The more you play it, the more you experience this guitar opening up. You see, I'm getting it to open here when I really dial in. guitar. My gosh. Well, congratulations to the John Dick. This is an amazing double top, and if you're interested in it, please write to me. It's available currently, and I have a full video that I believe has been edited already. If you'd like to hear it, the video that will eventually be published on this channel. We are left with one guitar here, and we have less viewers than we started with, but that's okay. You guys that stuck it out are gems. And speaking of a real gem, lastly, and certainly not least, we have this Giussani guitar. Handmade guitars in Italy. It's by Jacopo and Gioachino Giussani. And this guitar is a pleasant surprise. Now, I tuned this guitar up right before. Speaking of, actually, Mark asked something about stringing up. Did I string up brand new strings? No, they're not. They were shipped like that. That John Dick was shipped with those strings, so they are not new strings. This guitar by Giussani Guitars really surprised me. Now, it's been years since I played one of these. This is a brand new one from the year 2025. It's got a little bit of weight to it. It's a lattice brace guitar with all wood lattice bracing from what it looks like when I looked inside the guitar. It has this really nice satin finish to the top. This incredible rosette. By the way, this is a very affordable guitar. Compared to many of the famous makers, at least that I'm representing. A really gorgeous rosette with this little gold or bronzish color to the rosette. I really want to know what that is, so I'm probably going to write an email here shortly. And then the bridge has this really interesting carved pattern where it's kind of like winged out here. And the back and sides are this beautiful cypress. Can you see that? I want to show you up close. This cypress is gorgeous. You've got a raised fingerboard. You've got a sound port with a little tornavos inside of it to help bring the main air resonance of the guitar back down. A beautiful, I believe, mahogany neck. Or maybe it's a darkened cedar, but I mean, it's so dark in comparison to this cypress, right? By the way, the back and sides are a polyurethane finish. You can even feel how glossy it is. But it's a very thin polyurethane because it doesn't have this appearance of like being a glazed donut or something. It's it has a very nice appearance to it. You might just guess that it's French polish, but it is polyurethane. And what was I going to say? Sometimes the words just escape me. There was something. Oh, the back and sides. The sides are maybe not the back. The back is not doubled, but the sides are. And so that adds a little bit of weight to the guitar, and I do not know what it is lining these sides. But this wood has so many stripes in it. It makes it look like it's Brazilian rosewood. Unfortunately, I can't show you because the camera won't pick that up. But really gorgeous sides. Dan Fam says, looks like a cracked fix on the top. No, you're seeing this here. That's just a figuring in the wood. It does kind of look like that, but no, that's just figuring in the wood. In the cedar top here. And it's kind of cool because that's like where you put your arm on the guitar. This guitar is from 2025 and it is brand new. It is brand new. Unfortunately, the A string is a little dead on the guitar. The basses aren't the freshest, but with new strings too, this thing would be glowing anymore. But I have to say, this is a very affordable guitar compared to many of the instruments that you'll see on this channel. Even compared to the instruments I showed you today, this one is on a different level price-wise. And it has all of the sound, all of the class. Look at that headstock, really beautiful, very simple design. It doesn't have decked out tuners. These are Schaller Grand Tuned, which are not my favorites, let's just say that. They are cheapo tuners. However, if you wanted to upgrade that, the tuners are so easy to upgrade. You could do that yourself. And in all reality, you'll probably be fine with these. I'm just an absolute snob. With tuners, I'm like the guy at the party that's like questioning the wine choices that you bought. Did you get this from Walmart? So I'm very picky about tuners, but You know, it's one of the things that brings the cost of this guitar down. This is a 650 scale guitar. Lattice brace, very even all over. Really a beautiful sound. Very, very deep sounding. And beautiful bell-like trebles. Let's do a lock-up they draw test here. Really nice sustain this while muting all the other strings. By the way, I've ranted about this before, so I won't go too off topic here, but when you see people test sustain and they do this, they are not testing sustain. That's not sustain. So this is getting all the sympathetic vibrations from the other strings, which is not always available to you. If I bar, then this B, or maybe it's better I pick another note. Like let's say I do this. It's a terrible chord, but anyways, there's all sorts of situations where you're stopping the sympathetic vibrations on the other strings, and bar chords is one of those situations. So when you test sustain, you must mute the other strings to know what's really happening. Because otherwise you might play a note that's otherwise bad. Maybe it's F sharp. For instance, I have a Matthias Dahmen guitar from 2009. It's an incredible guitar. It's one of my favorite guitars ever. But the sustain is very poor on a couple of notes. But if I don't mute all the other strings, then this F sharp would be perfect. It would sound very nice. But muting other strings, then it dies very quickly. But this is a consequence for extreme volume like that. However, on this guitar, when I'm muting all the strings, incredible sustain. It's very rare you get that even a sustain on E, F, F sharp, and G. So don't fall for this sustain trick. It sounds like a clickbait title. Don't fall for this sustain trick where people test sustain like this. It's not accurate. Some notes, especially ones that are open strings, like for instance A, you'll think the sustain is incredible, but it's really because it's triggering several other strings. It's triggering the D string because A is the fifth of D, and that's very close in the harmonic series. It triggers the fifth string because that is an A, and then you get this A and this A from it. So you play the A, and you mute the A, and you hear the other strings. You see that? Right? So that's not the true sustain. This is. Anyhow, this guitar, all that being said, this guitar is incredible sustain. fantastic guitar, fun to play, a very thin neck, C-shaped. I mean, it's checking all the boxes for me. This one's a real singer. It's got a lot of, it's just got a really profound, deep sound to it. And it's available. I've got a full album of photos, but there's nothing on the website yet. I can send you more details if you're interested. And by the way, if you're interested in any of these guitars, they are all available. And gosh, I think only a couple of them are listed on the website. So definitely check that out. I have to wrap things up as it's just past 12 here today, and I like to keep these at about 1 hour. But thank you all so much for tuning in to another live stream. Next week's, let's see, next week is the 8th, and if I streamed, wow, it'd be like late afternoon where I will be. So anyhow, please look out for the possibility of a stream. It could be with 2 amazing guitars next week at this time. And we can keep in touch from there. But if you are interested in any of these guitars, please let me know. I can be quick to answer your questions today. And thanks so much for watching, you all. It's always fun to share an hour with you here. And look out for tomorrow. There's a video releasing on an incredible Richard Reynoso guitar from 2023. And I will see you all soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.